Hey guys, welcome. This is a general reading for the full blood moon in Taurus with a total lunar eclipse coming up on November 8th. I think 6:01, 6:02 a.m. Eastern time zone. So check wherever it's going to be happening for you on the planet. And it will be at 16 degrees of Taurus. So you do want to find on the outside wheel of your natal chart where 16 degrees of Taurus falls. It's less important about any planets being there. I don't have any, but where that point falls, what house, in other words, because that's where you're going to get the clues as to what the polarity is that's being activated for you. So for me, it's 10th house, 4th house. Scorpio 4th house, South Node will be there. Taurus 10th house, the North Node will be there. So this is, because that's what the eclipses are about, is the nodes of the moon. So for me, it's about my personal life versus my public life, right? My home, my roots, and energies around emotional security versus my public life, my work, my career, my ambitions, and my material security. Perfect, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And it's all happening for the fixed signs. So fixed signs are generally very persistent and they persevere. They can sometimes be accused of being resistant to change. I don't see it that way. Fixed signs are Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, and Scorpio, right? So Leo opposite Aquarius, Taurus opposite Scorpio. Those are the fixed signs. I don't think they're as resistant to change as they are more focused on stability, right? So once we get to a certain point, Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, and Scorpio come in and they say, okay, now we got to ground this in. Now we got to get stable in this before we move on to something else. So I kind of see it that way. Very reliable energy, very determined energy. So it's happening in the fixed sign. So if you have a fixed sign sun, Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, this particular eclipse will impact you more. If you have a north node or south node in either Taurus or Scorpio, that's the polarity, this eclipse will impact you more. Here's the kicker. It's impacting all of us. This one is packing like a whale of energy being amplified. And I'm going to link to in this video at the end of it, you should be able to see a little thumbnail that comes up taking you back to the new moon in Taurus when we had a solar eclipse back at the end of April. And I did a reading for that. And that might be helpful for you to go back and watch that. I'll also put the link in the description box below just in case you can't find it at the end of the reading. And I watched it and I was pretty surprised about how much of what I said in that reading and what energies came through in the cards has been playing out for the past 6 months. And now we're at the full moon. So it's about releasing anything that, we cannot, capital N-O-T, take with us going forward. So we are kind of culminating that part of the eclipse season. And this is the last eclipse of 2022. So in the fixed signs, North Node, South Node, I talked about that. We have the sun opposite the moon. What's in opposition? It mirrors internal struggle, right? The moon is our unconscious awareness. The sun is our conscious awareness. Well, where's the sun right now? In Scorpio, who likes to stay hidden, okay? We also have Venus right there with the sun and Mercury on the other side of the sun. So we have, our thoughts and perceptions and how we think and perceive love. And then we have the planet of love herself and the floodlight of our conscious awareness on Scorpio, which isn't happy with that kind of light. So that's what we're dealing with. And the South Node is right there. So it's almost as if in this lunation, the floodlight is coming on for that last bit of past karma, past life, shish, shish. We cannot take with us. We're moving forward, guys. We're hurtling into space at the speed of sound, and there are just things we cannot take with us. And so I have to impress upon you that if you continue to play out the old stories, I'm going to be talking to you about this years from now, and you're going to be in the same place. We do not want that. Okay? So the most interesting thing to note to me is the role of Uranus in this particular lunation, because we have the moon in Taurus conjunct Uranus. Conjunction is where they're blended, they kind of act in harmony, they're kind of working together in cahoots. The moon and Uranus, which is the great awakener, they're in Taurus saying, come on, we got to get with the program here. And if you don't figure out, we're shining the light with the sun, right, on what's been hidden or what needs to be released, South Node. And if you don't get it on your own, I'm going to make it happen for you in big and powerful, unexpected ways. I kind of like Uranus because I'm happy living with unexpected change sometimes, because I happen to be an earth sign, so I tend to get really stuck in my rut and routine, and every now and then I'm like, oh, we're pivoting. Okay, I'm on board. I am a mutable sign though. So this conjunction can also identify some blind spots that we might have. And Uranus is the Great Awakener, right? I mean, the Great Awakener can bring us unexpected change, always for the better, but that we get really excited about, right? Where we feel like, oh my gosh, that's such a blessing. It's such a miracle. So I want to kind of pay tribute to that, since this whole lunation is being guided by Uranus, which rules Pluto. Uranus, which rules Aquarius, which is fixed, and Venus, which rules Taurus, which is fixed. So we've got Uranus and Venus sort of operating in a stealth kind of way behind the scenes, so they're very important. The last thing I want to mention is there is a T-square involving Saturn. So on one side we have Taurus, okay? On the other side we have Scorpio. We've determined that's the opposition, that's where there's a little tension, and they're both making an exact square to Saturn. Lord of Karma, Lord of the Underworld, tension, stress, obstacles, yeah. So here's the thing. With Uranus, we may have a shocking revelation. And Venus rising, okay, in Taurus with the North Node is like the Phoenix rising. And then we've got this energy of, from the past 6 months, a storm that we had been living in is past. And Saturn says, now what have you learned from that? And what are you going to do different? And the time, by the way, to do different is now. The choices are clear, right? Sun is there, flooding the zone on Scorpio. No more stalling, no more denying. It will not work. So I just wanted to share it with you a little bit more esoterically than I normally do, which is my literal, like I'm chalkboard and the pointer. This time I wanted to make it a little more esoteric. So that is what is happening. I know. So do prepare some rituals about releasing what cannot come with you moving forward on the path to love. It's not just what can't come with you. It might be who can't come with you. Big shift. New path. Old path. There we are with the T-square. What have you learned? Leave it behind, okay? Saturn's like having the professor in the classroom walking up and down the aisles, looking over your shoulder, okay? So that's kind of what I wanted to point out. And Uranus is kind of like, hey, if you're ready to let go of something, and maybe you already have, I'm going to bring you something exciting, unexpected in a really positive way. So it's not, nothing doom and gloom here. It feels really positive. But let's see what Queen of the Moon Oracle has to say to us at this time. For those of us watching, acceptance. Card number 4. 4 feels like fixed energy to me. It's about structure. and foundations. And I love the energy of the two hands. So let me read a little bit, just so I get the gist of it for you. It says, acceptance of the current situation is the first step to change. The past does not exist. The future hasn't happened. There is only right now. So yeah, accept where we are at this moment and prepare to change. And what we fail to change or what we deny needs to be changed may be changed for us with this particular lunation. So I'm going to pull from Sacred Traveler, see where we've been, where we are, where we're headed. I know it's a big lunation, lots of emotion. Ooh, fellow travelers, passion and pleasure. I love that. That's some Taurian energy, choosing your path. Okay, so fellow travelers, this is where we've come from. Support has been around us as we've been. I know, I'm feeling like I've got something on my, you know how you get that way? I get it all the time. Like a hair is just not wanting to release. You're young, right? It'll happen when you get older. So support is all around you. We've been traveling. We've been sort of moving toward this Ten of Cups energy. I say that with the rainbow there. We've been supporting each other on this journey so far. And now we're being guided by the moon. There's the full moon. Savor your life, right? Passion and pleasure. This is the moment where we get to revel in the Taurian energy of pleasure. But it's also about what we value. Now, Scorpio is also a sign of passion. So we've got a little both, bit of both. But it's passion that's very intense and burns very hot and fast. And then the pleasure coming from Taurus is more about our creature comforts and, the ways that we can make life feel yummy for ourselves. But it is talking about savoring. Wherever you've got Taurus in your chart, there's an opportunity to savor it, to luxuriate in it, to determine what you value most that brings you that pleasure, that excites you. And then where are we headed? Choosing the path. All is possible. And I love that because we are at that crossroads moment right now in this total lunar eclipse with the full moon in Taurus. So it's about a path change. We do get to choose. For some of us, though, we might not get to choose because Uranus is in the house. Okay? All right. So let me go ahead and jump right in to the reading. Okay, so this is the tarot portion of the program. I don't know. I like to give you all of the astrology just so that you kind of get a feel for, what's happening. And I mean, it doesn't make us do stuff, but it kind of reflects where we are as a collective. And I always find that following the moon, that's why I do new moon and full moon readings, really kind of helps me touch base, with where I'm at and look for clues as to where I might be headed or what I need to release so that I'm not weighed down. Okay? Okay. And there it is, the moon. Present energy. We don't know what we don't know. This can be about hidden feelings. It can be about our insecurities and our apprehensions about what is to come because we can't see. When the moon comes in, we are required to tap into our intuition at a deeper level. You notice how she's submerged there, searching for the light to guide her up. Here, what's crossing us? Two of Swords. I just got done saying crossroads moment, and there it is. It's coming in. That's the challenge. So we're definitely a little bit, our vision is a little bit obscured, and what the Two of Swords challenges us to do is go within. The answer isn't outside you. You can try to see through the light as much as you want, but if you're nervous and if you're triggered and if you're feeling like uncertain and apprehensive, you got to go within for the clarity. right? The clarity. There's a decision that you need to make about the path forward. And sometimes we have to make it blind, right? Just like that. And that may be causing some of that tense energy that the moon is here with underneath in our unconscious awareness. Ace of Cups, right? This beautiful opportunity, this gift of the love of a lifetime, and maybe some of us are kind of not sure where things are headed. In the past, Knight of Pentacles, sure, because things have been moving very slowly. I don't mind the Knight of Pentacles. A lot of people do. But I think that what's been unfolding here is that the Knight of Pentacles is about moving forward with purpose, taking action with purpose. And sometimes we need to cross our T's and dot our I's. We need to think with the end, begin with the end in mind, and get clear about the path before we strike out on it, and also to be sure that we're doing so very intentionally and deliberately and methodically and responsibly and predictably. All the ablees happening right here in this card. But that's in the recent past, or for some of you, it's been unfolding for a long time. Things getting to this point has taken quite some time. So now in our conscious awareness, King of Swords. All right. So the King of Swords, I kind of like it in this position because it's telling me that on some level, we're aware that there, if something is eluding us or someone is eluding us, that's something that we can rationalize around. We can think our way through. We can strategize. The King of Swords is the ultimate strategist in the tarot. Very clear, but sometimes elusive though. Sometimes a little distant and aloof and not so warm or fuzzy. So in our conscious awareness, what we may be freaking out about a little bit is this, not really knowing where someone stands, how they feel, hidden feelings with the moon. And we're looking all outside ourselves, and the answer is within. Okay, so moving on to the near future, Eight of Cups. So the Eight of Cups to me in this particular deck, notice how there's only one cup behind her on fire. Gotta love it. And she's walking toward what? The sun. So this is we as a collective staying on our path, moving toward love, moving toward joy, toward bliss, toward happiness. Taking with us what we've gained, what's useful, and leaving the rest behind. Got it? Okay, so I'm going to clarify this for you. What I'm going to do, just so you're clear about it, is for the extended, I'm going to complete the reading for each sign. Aries through Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. If you have a Taurus or Scorpio, North or South node, you can count that in as well. Otherwise, just Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. So let's go ahead and look at the moon and the Two of Swords. Seven of Swords. Seven of Cups. The World. So I'm getting the impression that there's a lot of emotional confusion. Maybe there are some trust issues you're seeking some clarity around, especially because if you're here as a feminine dealing with a King of Swords, instead of being the King of Swords, you may be feeling like this, like you just can't kind of get a handle on what this person feels or where they stand, and it's bugging you out a bit. Makes sense. So we're at that crossroads moment where you kind of have to determine, is this cycle closing out and we're moving on to something better, or is it all done? Okay, the 2 sevens are key. If you've been seeing 7 or 77, extra confirmation. But the emotional overwhelm and the lack of trust or the questioning this person's motives or intentions, yeah, it may have run its course. And I'm seeing the world as an opportunity to close that out. That's what you cannot take forward with you. You cannot take the emotional confusion. You cannot take the emotional overwhelm. You cannot take the distrust. You cannot take the energies of worry and wondering what someone's intentions are. You cannot take it forward with you. Let's look at the Ace of Cups and the unconscious awareness. Four of Cups, the Hierophant, and the Wheel of Fortune. That's interesting to me. It's almost as if we just think about the Ace of Cups with the Four of Cups. To me, the Four of Cups is often about a missed opportunity. You can see the hand of Spirit there bringing in this Ace of Cups. And yet it's just being looked past. And you know that card where that figure in the traditional tarot is just kind of, you know, arms across the chest, looking very dejected, very disappointed, very disillusioned at Three Cups, while the Ace is right in their field of vision if they would just lift their head. So I'm kind of feeling like in your unconscious awareness, there's this energy around a missed opportunity. And here comes the Hierophant. To me, that's Taurus right there saying, look up, lift your head, lift your head. Don't be focused on what you don't have. Be focused on what's available to you. Wheel of Fortune, Jupiter in the house, planet of, you know, cash and prizes here in this, and Taurus, which is the sign of cash and prizes, right? What we value, what we love, and trinkets and baubles. Yes, but it's also what helps us feel secure. We are souls having a human experience. It's the human experience part that Taurus really rules. So I'm feeling as if it's about, you know, who are you at your core? What do you really stand for? What do you really believe in? Let's give you more of that instead of always feeling less than, always feeling like you've missed the opportunity, missed the boat, as they say, right? So we're not going to focus on the glass half empty. We're going to focus on the cup being offered. So that's what's rolling around in your unconscious awareness. What I mean to say by that, for those of you that are new, is that it's in your psyche. It's not running you completely, but it's part of the picture. And it's something that now that the sun is in Scorpio, there's a flood lamp on it trying to bring it to the surface. So let's see the Knight of Pentacles in the past. Ace of Swords, Queen of Swords, Two of Wands. I'm feeling this brings us back. I know this is going to sound weird. I feel like it brings us back to the new moon I was referencing, the Taurus new moon reading. When we are slowly moving toward, or something that we really desire is moving very slowly, almost in slow-mo, but we see it. We've got clarity around it. So here is the Knight of Pentacles, moving slowly. Then we've got the Ace, but I see it. I see it out there moving toward me, or I'm moving toward my goal, and I've got clarity. Queen of Swords, truth seeker, truth teller, the Two of Wands, right? In a world of possibilities, what do you want? I feel like the Ace of Swords was that moment where you said, I know what I want. This to me feels like where you set some intentions from some semblance of clarity and practicality, and being very clear about what it was you wanted, being open to it unfolding a little bit more slowly. And now we've got the King of Swords. So we've got a king and queen, equal, like a good match. It feels to me like you're still well suited, at least in terms of your thoughts and perceptions, your ways of communicating, and moving about the world in your 4D existence, your mental realm. Let's see the King of Swords. Two of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, Judgment. This has been coming out a lot lately, almost like the jury's out, torn about whether or not a second chance is on the menu. King of Swords is kind of who you're holding in your conscious awareness. Two of Pentacles to me is like, because it's clarified by the Seven of Wands, feels a little bit resistant. You know, Two of Pentacles being like, I feel a little torn. And underneath, what are we torn about? Second chances, forgiveness, redemption, reunion even. Okay, Judgment is an awakening card. Judgment is Scorpio, ruled by Pluto. It's like, being called back up answering that call. I kind of feel the jury's out. Maybe because this person still eludes you. For some of you, that will be the case. For others of you, there's still a breach of trust that hasn't been mended or discussed, right? For some of you that are still in some form of separation at 3D, you haven't had a chance to talk about the elephant in the room, the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Cups. And it's like the hidden feelings is kind of driving you a little bit more into resistance and stagnancy. At the very least, uncertainty about how you're going to move forward, right? The decision you've got to make and how to proceed from there. So then we have the Eight of Cups. Five of Swords. Oh, okay. Wow. So I get the impression some of you are going to have the opportunity to sort of talk it out. There's an exchange of energy here at the very least, where I see the vast majority of you moving toward happiness, moving toward, what did I say? The sun. There it is. Happiness, peace, bliss, joy, right? Taking with you what you've gained from this whole situation, leaving all the rest in the rearview mirror. And, no more feeling defeated. Five of Swords can often be feeling defeated, or where there might have been some sabotage, because we do have the Five and the Seven of Swords. It's come through for a lot of you, where you felt defeated because it kind of felt like you were set up on some level. But I feel like there might be an exchange of energy, or some of you may actually have a conversation about it that sort of releases you, and you leave that behind, and all the happiness, there's the sun, right, comes pouring in. So that's a good last card to end on. It's not the end of the story, however, because I want to bring you your guidance, the hidden energies, and the potential outcome in the extended. But let me tell you what showed up astrologically here. We have the moon, which is Pisces. We've got the world, Aquarius and Capricorn. This is Saturn. And remember I said there's a square from the sun and the moon to Saturn. Lots of tension in that moment where you kind of sort of have to pay attention to what you've learned, and then, how you move on from that. We have the Hierophant is Taurus. Wheel of Fortune, Sagittarian energy. It's a card of Jupiter. Jupiter plays a role in this lunation too, but it didn't feel as important to me to talk about. We have the King and Queen of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarian energy. We've got Judgment, which is Scorpio. I love that we have Taurus in the unconscious awareness, which is where the moon is, and Scorpio in the conscious awareness, which is where the sun is. That's kind of nice. And then we have the sun, Leo. So all our fixed signs are here. This gives you the basis of the reading. So the link to the extended is below. For those of you who are either in the channel membership or all access pass, you will automatically get that. The rest of you, there is a link below, and you can go ahead and take yourself to it. There is a description box at the point of purchase with the timestamps. So you'll just have to copy and paste it, and that way you can kind of move your cursor to where you want to watch, all right? So that's what I have for you. Full moon, full blood moon in Taurus, total lunar eclipse, blessings to all. Be prepared to let a lot of stuff go. I'll see you on the other side. Bye for now.